I'm Sam Pow. I'm a licensed clinical social worker, and I help facilitate circles and groups. I started facilitating suicide resilience groups back when I was clinical director of a mental health residential program. And a lot of my clients there came straight to us from psychiatric hospitalization and had attempted suicide like a week before I met them. And so it was a really important topic that we needed to talk about. I developed the curriculum for these groups based on things that I learned from them and what works for them to manage their suicidal thoughts. The goal with the suicide resilience group, and the reason why it's called a suicide resilience group as opposed to a suicide prevention group, is because it's okay if you have these thoughts and feelings. We don't have to get rid of them. There are ways that we can work with them rather than against them, and ways that you can even learn to make them work for you rather than against you. Obviously, in any group setting, it's really important that it be a judgment-free zone. People know that whatever they share, they're going to be met with compassion and empathy. We don't always have to agree, but we do always have a commitment to respecting each other's perspectives and honoring each other's experiences. With suicide in particular, a lot of people feel unsafe talking about it because they're afraid that they're gonna get into a higher level of care or something like that, or hospitalized. So it's very important for me to constantly be reiterating the limits of confidentiality. It is okay to talk about it if you have suicidal thoughts, if you have a suicidal plan even. I'm only going to intervene. I'm going to hurt myself. I'm going to attempt to kill myself. If there's no current intention or there's no current access to the means to carry out a plan, it's safe to talk about it. I mean, if you think about like the purpose of physical pain, why did we evolve to be able to feel physical pain? Well, ultimately it's to protect ourselves from being injured or harmed. Pain is unpleasant, but pain also protects me. Well, if that's true for physical pain, I'm arguing it's also true for emotional pain. Your emotional pain is not your enemy. It is there to protect you. A lot of my clients in these suicide resilience groups end up learning how to allow their suicidal thoughts to be catalysts for positive change in their life. People realizing it's not so much that I hate myself and I want to die because I hate myself. A lot of times people, when they dig a little bit deeper and pull back some of the layers of their suicidal thinking, realize in a weird way, the part of me that wants to die might actually be the part of me that loves myself, because I'm seeing suicide as an escape from my suffering. And if I want my suffering to end, that means I care about myself. Having a suicidal thought can actually be threaded back to a part of myself that cares about myself and wants myself to heal, wants myself to be happy and successful. Having that suicidal thought doesn't have to be a bad thing. A moment that reminded me why this work with suicide resilience is important is a moment in which I saved one of my clients' lives. One of my clients texted me goodbye, and I engaged in a conversation with him, and I helped get him into a higher level of care where he would be safe for a few days. And then we spent the next year or so unpacking and processing what had happened and how he got so close to ending his own life. Because part of him knew that by reaching out to me and telling me how unsafe he actually was in that moment, part of him knew that I was going to intervene to protect him. And so if there's a part of you that wants to talk about what you've been thinking and feeling, coming to a group like Suicide Resilience is a way to feed that part of you that wants to live. Even if 99% of me wants to die, if there's a 1% kernel of me that maybe thinks it might be possible for things to get a little bit better, that's the part of you that you can bring to group. I'm so grateful to get to do this work because, you know, some people that work in my field feel like work is so intense that they need to like cope with the stress of work in their personal life. I kind of have a different experience. I feel like life is so intense that helping people work, helping people heal, and helping people empower themselves, that's how I cope with the intensity of life. Seeing people healing and learning how to work with their feelings rather than against them, that inspires me, helps me feel like I'm not powerless in this world that has so many struggles in it.